Custom Ink can help you recognize employees, show customer appreciation, and outfit your teams with your favorite products and brands customized with your logo. At CustomInk.com, you can easily make your mark on all sorts of products, including water bottles, backpacks, polos, jackets, and so much more. Make Custom Ink your go-to custom gear partner with great customer service, quality products, and all-in pricing, along with personalized help when you need it and an easy-to-use website when you don't. All backed by a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Go to CustomInk.com to get started today.
Blue Wire.
First pick in the 1991 NBA Draft, the Charlotte Hornets select Larry Johnson from University.
I'm not supposed to be here, man. A lot of people from where I'm from, don't make it.
Charlotte, we're back.
Welcome back to another Buzz Beat. Hope you guys had a chance to listen to our previous episode. It was about 40 minutes long, where we recapped the preseason opener against the Boston Celtics. We highlighted the pace of play, Jalen McDaniels being a lone bright spot. We debated the center position between Nick Richards and Mark Williams. We talked over some of the concerns, including the second unit playmaking. All that you can find on our previous episode. On today's episode, you're going to get a snippet of Brian joining the Dunc'd podcast. To find the full episode, though, you'll need to go to duncdon.supportingcast.fm. I will put that link in the episode notes to make sure you have it spelled correctly, and to see how you can support Nate Duncan, John Hollinger, and Danny LaRue. They put out a ton of content, ton of episodes, so definitely check out that website to see if the perks are worth it for you. So hopefully this snippet maybe will entice you to go and look at some of the deals that they got going on that website. The other link that I'm going to put in the episode notes is a conversation thread on our BuzzBeat Plus Substack. This is free. Anyone can comment. If you want to chime in on the outlook for the Hornets, best case scenario, worst case scenario, any thoughts that you're having during the preseason, there's just going to be a running conversation thread in there. So just put your thoughts on it. If they are good enough, we might even share them on an upcoming episode. So we're going to go ahead and get into this on the BuzzBeat Plus feed. The snippet will be a little bit longer than the public feed, but the conversation is a very good one. Nonetheless, let's get into the conversation with Brian, who guested on the Dunc'd On pod.
Miles Bridges had the ability, had he wanted to have a contract with the Charlotte Hornets this year. Mm-hmm. However, as of October 1st, that expires. He remains a restricted free agent with them having the ability to match any offer, but he does not have the ability to just accept a contract from them, which is actually a great situation for the Hornets to be in, where they maintain his rights, but also they don't have to deal with the potential headache of him signing a contract and technically being on their roster. The Hornets could have just extended that all the way to March 1st, but as I just mentioned, there's really no reason for them to have done that. So that's where the situation is right now. And so it seems that's why I now predict unless he's acquitted of all charges or something like that, and we learn something more factually about this situation than is known right now, it seems pretty likely he's just going to head into next year as a restricted free agent potentially. But let's talk more about what this team is going to be this year. And I mean, I do think, given the value of those athletic wings, that this is a team that can withstand that maybe better than some, given some of the depth they have at the position, if healthy. Big caveat there.
Yeah. I mean, the Hayward becomes he's now the second most important ball handler on the roster behind LaMelo. And I mean, I think there's a pretty big gap between 1 and 2 in that regard, but there's a pretty big gap between 2 and 3. I would say Hayward is, he when healthy, he's strong. He can post up mismatches. So he matters next to LaMelo in a variety of ways. One, because he can shoot, so he spaces the floor. He takes tough assignments away from LaMelo because you've got to put, good defenders with some size and length on him. But also, like, they've gotten pretty good when healthy at, like, having Hayward screen for LaMelo. This is how they've, like, when they've gone at Atlanta and Trae Young, that's something they've used every time to, like, try to bring Trae into the action and make him, put them in tough spots, kind of, like you would maybe see a team really in the playoff, focus, just try to play like matchup basketball every time there's a half court possession. So Hayward is huge for that. I think PJ Washington becomes like, he's such a critical piece for them this season. And I think we've gotten to a spot now where, like, we've seen 3 seasons of PJ Washington. He's played a lot of small ball 5. He's played a lot of stretch 4 for the Hornets. Like, I think at this point, he's a pretty solid, like, maybe unspectacular, but a pretty solid 2-way player. Like, he's a good team defender. He can guard a couple of different position types. I mean, if you play center, you're going to get, clobbered on the glass. That's just the name of the game. But he does protect the rim a little bit, including when they would use him in the middle of the zone or the matchup zone last season. He can really shoot it. Like, he wasn't great from the corners last year, but he's been very good from the corners his first 2 seasons. And he was one of the better pick and pop players in the NBA last season. He almost never shoots from the mid range unless it's like, a short roll runner or the occasional post up. Like, It pretty much is like above the break threes, corner threes, and rim. Struggles to finish around the rim, maybe more so than you'd like for a guy with a 7'3" wingspan and some size. But PJ's I think at this point, what you're going to get from him which is like pretty good defense, good 3-point shooter, that allows you to open up your offense and run some stuff through because of the spacing. But, like, can he give you anything more in terms of playmaking? I think there's like an opportunity for him this season. I'm not super bullish on that. Like, I like some stuff PJ can do, passing out of the post or attacking a closeout, but they've dabbled in him running pick and roll the last couple of seasons, but I don't really see that being like, he doesn't have the speed or the comfort level to turn the corner and really make a play. So I think Jalen McDaniels becomes like the next guy in the queue.
Yeah, let's talk about him, because I was very impressed by what I saw from him a year ago. His shooting looked better. Mm-hmm. I thought they really missed him when he missed like 6 weeks or something with a sprained ankle. Yeah. It was pretty severe. Like, I thought they really missed his defense and energy a lot, and his athleticism. So he's a guy I've been impressed by, a guy who's going to be eligible for a possible extension as well. Not someone that a lot of people have heard of, but I think he's a very solid rotation forward, at least to me. Am I off on that, or am I getting too out over my skis?
No. I think I agree with you. And I would have liked to have seen McDaniels play more last season. I know the injury took him out for a while. Apparently it was the first time he'd ever, according to him, it was the first time he'd ever sprained his ankle. And that was also, he was out for, extended period of time because of that.